Hi guys, this is CA Balakrishna from Lecturepedia.in. How are you? Hope you people are doing well. Even I am fantastic. Now in the today's class we will be revising forensic audit. The revision of all other remaining chapters, they have been already uploaded and it will be available in the playlist section. You can access those videos from the playlist tab, and this handwritten chart you can download it from our Telegram channel, and the link for Telegram channel, it will be available in the description. Now we'll start with revision of forensic audit. Basically, what is this forensic audit? Whenever any fraud takes place in the company, then it will appoint a forensic auditor to determine who are involved in this fraud, what is the extent of this fraud, from how many years this fraud is being taking place. Okay, to determine all these aspects relating to the fraud, forensic auditor will be appointed. Now companies will appoint forensic auditor not only after the fraud has taken place, but some companies, if they are having any doubt that there might be any fraud in the company, even then the companies might appoint forensic auditor to investigate the fraud, to identify whether there is any fraud that is taking place in the company. So this is the brief idea of forensic audit. Now see, forensic audit, it is examination of financial records and transactions to uncover evidence of fraud or other criminal activity. So what is the difference between a normal financial audit and this forensic audit? If you see, the objective of normal financial audit is to express an opinion on true and fair view of the financial statements, whereas in case of forensic audit, the objective will be to identify the fraud, whether fraud has taken place or not. And coming to the techniques that are used in the financial audit, mostly substantive checking, compliance testing, sample based testing, like these types of techniques will be used in financial audit, whereas in case of forensic audit, investigative techniques, okay, and substantive and more in-depth checking will be used in case of forensic audit. And coming to the period of financial audit would be generally 1 year, okay, one financial year. Whereas in case of forensic audit, there is no such a specific limitation of the period. And in case of stock estimations and provisions that are present in the financial statements, the financial auditor will rely on the representations that are being made by the management, whereas forensic auditor, he will perform independent verification of those items. And coming to the off balance sheet items, regarding off balance sheet items, the financial auditor will watch the arithmetic accuracy and compliance with procedures, whether all the procedures have been followed or not, whereas the forensic auditor, he will examine the regulatory and proprietary aspects of those items, and if adverse findings are found, in case of financial auditor, a qualified opinion will be given, and in case of forensic auditor, the auditor will dwell deeper into determination of fraud impact and people involved. So this is the difference between financial audit and forensic audit. Now generally, financial auditor will be involved in fraud detection, fraud prevention. He will detect the fraud and he will also prevent the fraud, and he will also involve in computer forensics. That means to develop computer techniques, to develop software, to develop applications that are useful for the purpose of forensic audit. Even in this aspect, the forensic auditor will be involved. And finally, he will be involved in providing expert testimony in court of law. Generally, court, it requires certain evidences to conclude the fraud. So those evidences and that expert testimony will be provided by the forensic auditor in the court of law. So in these areas he will be involved. Now what are the services that the forensic auditor will provide? Generally he will provide the following services: crafting questions to be asked to the people, okay, which type of questions to be asked so that the fraud can be identified, Okay, that questions will be crafted by forensic auditor, and he will also be involved in answering the questions that have been posed. Okay, if the other party poses any question, what type of answers has to be given, even this service he will provide responding to questions posed. And he will identify documents that have to be requested from the third party, which type of documents we have to request during the forensic audit. Then he will conduct research and relevant research which is relevant to the facts of the case. Okay, he will be involved in conducting research, and he will identify individuals who are having knowledge of the facts that are relevant to this fraud. Okay, he will identify those individuals, and he will evaluate documents and information that have been produced to him, and finally he will identify and prevent the evidences that he has collected during this forensic audit process. So these services will be provided by forensic auditor. And generally, who will use these forensic auditors, who will employ these forensic auditors? Lawyers, police, insurance companies, government and regulatory bodies, banks, courts and business communities. Okay, these people, they will employ forensic auditors. And the services of forensic auditor are useful in the following industries: criminal investigation, professional negligence cases. Okay, if at all any professional has not complied with any relevant regulatory requirements, then he will be professionally negligible. Okay, so to identify whether he is actually committed that professional negligence or not, these forensic auditors will be useful. And arbitration service, fraud investigation and risk control, settlement of insurance claims, and finally dispute settlement. The services of forensic auditors will be useful in these areas. And forensic auditor, he should possess certain qualities. What are those qualities? First of all, he should possess the nature of out of the box thinking. Okay, this type of nature he has to possess. Then he should have the capability to visualize and imagine the situation. Okay, visualization and imagination. And he should have curiosity to learn new things. Okay, curiosity. And then he should be persistent enough, and he should be detail oriented, and he should have the quality of creativity and skepticism, and he should be confident enough, and he should have the quality of professional judgment, and he should make decisions objectively, and credibility should be possessed. So these are the characteristics of a forensic auditor. Now, what are the skills that the forensic auditor has to possess? First of all, since he is an auditor, he should be well aware of auditing standards and the procedures that are followed in the audit. And since he is dealing with the financials of the company, he should be well aware of accounting standards, okay, accounting and business reporting systems. And then he should also have knowledge related to information technology that is being used in the company, and data analytics, criminology, legal framework, evidence gathering. Okay, he should have the skill of gathering the evidence, and finally investigative techniques should be possessed by him. So these are certain skills that a forensic auditor has to possess. Now, what is the process of forensic accounting? See, this forensic accounting is a broader concept, and forensic audit is part of forensic accounting. But generally, both these forensic accounting and forensic auditing, they can be used interchangeably. Okay, these two terms will be used these two terms will be used interchangeably. So what is the process of this forensic accounting? First of all, you will initialize, okay, the terms, the scope, all these will be discussed. Then you will develop the plan, then you will obtain the relevant evidence. Once you have obtained the evidence, you will analyze it, perform analysis, then you will report, and finally you will present in the court proceedings. So this is the process of forensic accounting or forensic auditing. Now, how the analysis will be performed? First of all, you will calculate what are the economic damages that has taken place due to the fraud. Then you will summarize the large number of transactions that are present in the organization. Then tracing of assets, and you will also calculate present values of various items, and then regression sensitivity analysis will be performed, and you can also use charts and graphs to explain these analysis you have performed. And coming to the techniques that are used by the forensic auditor. What are the techniques that the forensic auditor will use during the forensic audit? First of all, he can use general audit techniques like defense testing. That means whether the controls are working properly or not. He himself will try to override the controls and whether he is capable of overriding the controls. This is defense testing. Then he can also use statistical and mathematical techniques such as trend analysis, ratio analysis, and then he can use CATS, computer assisted audit techniques, and he can also use generalized audit software like IDEA, Pan Audit, and he can also use common software tools like MS Excel, MS Access, and Crystal reports, and finally he can also use data mining techniques to perform this forensic audit. Still, there are other techniques that he can use, that is digital forensic techniques, cross drive analysis. In this cross drive analysis, he will identify relationship between various transactions or various items in the entity. And live analysis, in the live analysis he will perform real time analysis. And then deleted files, okay, he will try to recover the deleted files and he will try to identify why those files are deleted and what is the information that is present in those files. And then stochastic forensics, basically this is stochastic forensics is a type of forensic technique. And steganography, in this steganography you will identify the hidden information. And in-case MD5, these are some forensic audit softwares. And tracking log files, okay, log you will be maintaining the tracking those log files. And PC system log, free log tools, this will be coming under digital forensic techniques. And then laboratory analysis of evidence, the evidence that has been gathered will be analyzed in the laboratory. So what could be involved here? Computer forensics, hard disk imaging, email analysis, search for erased files, analyze possible misuse of data, computer software to analyze the data. Now once the evidence has been gathered, how to identify the integrity of the evidence, okay, whether the evidence that has been gathered is valid or not. To identify that, the auditor will perform or will check chain of the custody, okay, this evidence, who are the previous owners of this evidence, okay, how this item or how this evidence has transferred from one person to another person, that is chain of custody. Then fictitious documents, he will identify whether these documents are original or fictitious. Then he will physically examine, he will perform fingerprint analysis, and he will also perform ink sampling. Ink sampling will be helpful to identify whether any alteration has been made to the document or not. And then document dating will help to identify when this agreement was entered, okay, what is the period, okay, this document was dated to, okay, these will be identified to determine whether the evidence is valid or not. And then finally auditor will issue forensic audit report. Now what are some contents of a forensic audit report? See, these are just for a illustrative purpose they have given. Apart from these, there can be other items included in the forensic audit report. What are they? Executive summary, risk analysis, audit process that the auditor has performed in the forensic audit, and evidences of risk events, and what is the recommendations that the auditor is giving in regard to those risk events, and governance with related to those recommendation implementation. So these would be some of the side headings of the forensic audit report. By this, a quick revision of forensic audit is completed, and we will be meeting with a new chapter in the next class. Okay, and if you want to purchase classes, you can visit our website lecturepedia.in and you can place your order. Take care. Bye bye.